Hello, 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 everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, or whenever watching this live. My name is Sudha. I am the host of Expert Interview Show. However, today I am hosting and I am being the expert in the episode. The reason being, I mugged up my guest calendar the wrong way. Invited them at the wrong time, so ended up with no guest. And I thought I've got an important topic I wanted to discuss with you all. So I am here. You can be assured that I would try to keep it as concise as succinct as possible. Um, the late entry for this, or late broadcast for this episode, is because I got stuck in traffic on a bus. I could not do anything about it. Anyway, let's get into the subject. All um, let's let's discuss AI chat platforms. Right? Everyone is talking about chat gpt. I, for one, love technology. I am an AI enthusiast. I create chatbots similar. It might not be as huge scale as chat gpt, but I've been creating chatbots since 2017. However, and I come from a development background as well. However, so technology is my passion. I love everyone adopting to technology. However, in last 25 years, I finished my degree in 1995. However, in last 25, 27 years, people have kept saying the technology, they've been blaming the technology that it's not doing what it's supposed to do because they're not using it right. This is one of the challenges I have, and people don't want to accept that fact that they are not using the technology effectively. Just take for an example, if you don't know how to operate a machinery, would you use that machinery? Would a doctor who is not being trained well, would you trust him or her on that operation theater? No, you wouldn't let them do the surgery. However, when it comes to technology, it is marketed in such a way that it's so easy, and it is, if you're tech savvy, if you're inquisitive, you can do it. You won't do much of a damage as such, as in you don't kill anyone by doing so. However, you can lose your what would you say, you can lose your reputation in the process. So I would suggest that whenever you're using any new tools, try to, many people are going to ignore the whatever I'm saying right now. They're going to ignore it and say, hey, I am not bothered. I don't want anyone to tell me what I should be doing. I don't want anyone telling me this. However, I find it really difficult uh, for people to get encouraged by this technology, and I wanted to put this 5 cents out there, so that they can take this into account. Cybersecurity is one of the number one first thing you need to be thinking about as a critical thinker. You need to be thinking about the cybersecurity and say, look, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? Work this out. Find out everything about ChatGPT or Bing Chat or Brad or whomever, whichever platform you're using. Even if you're using an AI tool which is not similar to ChatGPT, think about cybersecurity, because this is a new technology. Cybersecurity is not that great on the platforms. So whatever data you put in, if it could be your personal data, whatever data you put in, they are trained. However, it's been cleansed they don't take any personal data, but you never know who is using what, which data. So it is a lot easier to inject bad data. So you may be, the platforms themselves may be prone to hacking and phishing. All of this information, what I mean by phishing is getting your details by posing they are someone else and something else, so you may give the data. So you've got to be really careful about those. Number one is cybersecurity. Number two is data privacy and quality. Just imagine, for so long we've come to a stage where we think about data privacy, we think about data quality, uh, but we don't know how vulnerable that data is going to be when you put your data or someone else have put their data in. So it will become really difficult for many people that this is happening, right? And the third thing I would say is there, even when, let me go back to data security and talk about that. There is no traceability of where that data comes from. That's because the platform has got certain rules that they would cleanse the data, right, on go before it's fed into machine for the machine to learn. So there is no traceability. So when there is no traceability, it is prone to pick up data indiscriminately and provide that data to you when you ask for that data. So it's not like when we research in the past, we've got a human element in there. We've got our brains, we've got a logic, we put in there, and we think about, oh, is that right data which I'm consuming for my research? Is that not? But that indiscrimination, that neutrality of technology makes it even more difficult for you to understand where this data is coming from. So if someone sues you, blah, blah, sue you, um, you can very well say, oh, I didn't write that data. It's someone else who wrote the data. I took it from this platform. And they do, as such, platforms themselves do have that legal clause saying that these data are not. That's why you see that data, and they say, keep saying this data is not always the right data. So that's one of the, I can sit here and talk about the cyber security and data privacy for long, because I've done that for many consultancy for many years. So it's one of information governance is one of my passion as well. So the third one is authenticity. As I told you before, in the data, there is no traceability element to it. So the same thing happens with the authenticity as well. So you lose that expertise, authenticity about your knowledge. You can pick up any knowledge. You can even write a medical paper. You can, even when you write a code to develop something, it's not your code. It's been injected or it's been given to you by this machine, and you have taken that. You don't even know uh, have that knowledge to debug or understand what these code is all about, and then you put that object out there. You will not know whether that object, that module or that software you've created is the right one. um, for learning and all of that, for even for research purpose, on a quantitative, not the qualitative research. Quantitative research, you can use these platforms. However, when you rely on them completely, it is going to be a challenge. So for these three reasons alone, AI has got a long way to go before it replaces human. Okay, so even the content writing, many people use, even I use for content writing, don't get me wrong. For content writing in itself, it's okay, it's fine, you can use it. But again, as I say, you can use it for with your expert knowledge. You go tweak it to change it. Plagiarism plays a role even now, after so many prompts have been created, which kind of cheats the search engines, so that it becomes your own authentic content. But it is not, you know it as well. So that in itself, at the back of mind, you would start thinking about, oh, I'm not being, that imposter syndrome may play a havoc in your head. And fourth element is ethical challenges. This is another, me being ethnic minority in a foreign country. This is one of the things which um, I I am so concerned about, is the biases. Even though you can do unconscious bias by saying, okay, it doesn't think, but if the data is not fed into the system in that basis, then there will be a bias or discrimination or any other element to go with it. So I would strongly recommend that whatever you're feeding, you've got to wait for certain amount of time and then realize. Because when business automation came, everyone jumped on business automation without even thinking about business rules, without even thinking about working, what are the workarounds, without even thinking about how the systems is going to take. So there is a mismatch in so many organizations. I recently okay, I can't talk about my recent project, but however, in this organization, we do have challenges of like, the system which is already there is a budget issue of not able to create that. But whereas there is another one which they invent, because human brain is such that we invent workarounds. When that workarounds is not fitting in right, it will create inefficiency, it will create wastage, it will create mental stress for anyone who's using the system. This is one of the things, ethically it's not there. We have not set ground rules on how the AI platform should work. What are the things which should, there is rules, some of the rules for privacy, there are some of the rules for other things, but how your data is used is not there. There is so many uh, layers. It's like onions. There are so many layers out there, which makes it even more difficult, even for anyone who has got that knowledge, to go and investigate back where the root cause is. It is going to be a big mammoth task, and I would say it'll be impossible for them to find the root cause of any of those challenges. Just imagine, it's not your data, how many of them are already using that data? Okay, so this is the fourth one. And the fifth one is your voice. What is your voice? Once you start using AI and you've understood um, the time factor, it is so quick, you get it out, you churn it around quite quickly, and you get it out there. Is that your voice? How much will you tweak? It's not your voice. There is no basis to that at all. So think about that one. Is that my voice, or is it someone else's voice, or many people's voice? It's not just one person. You're using many people's voice here before you talk about. So that is what I would love to discuss in this episode. Hopefully you will understand where I am coming from on this aspect of the whole situation. And then you can define, use it with these consideration, use it with the thinking. learn, go learn about how to use it effectively. Get some expert to help you with it. Wherever possible, get a human interaction to that element. Put the human in that, put you in that article, put you in that email address, sorry, email reply, put you. So that's all I would like to share with you today. And I'll see you all in next episode. Next episode is really interesting one. It's about trademark, which I've touched here, but we are going to discuss about intellectual property in detail next week. Tune in for that one. Thank you very much, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Until then, be happy, be cheerful, and use the technology effectively. Bye for now.